Today I'm here to tell you to stop buying secondhand. And I'll be specifically talking about second-hand clothing and how it applies to most products as well as clothing, particularly in the fast category. So anything like fast fashion, fast food, fast electronics, any goods that have been assembled quickly for maximum profit and minimum quality. So many influencers are promoting the buying of second-hand clothing as being the way to end fast fashion. They say they never buy new clothing because they are thinking of the environment. And it is true that prolonging the life of clothing is absolutely critical to having an eco-friendly wardrobe. However, second-hand clothing should only be part of a mix. And here's why. So some people's insatiable appetite for new looks will just continue. It does not address their psychological addiction, which also ramps up their consumption and promotes others to do the same, somehow making this addiction guilt-free. Number 2, the second-hand market is of course fueling the new clothes market, mostly through fast fashion purchases that were made badly and in modern slavery conditions. So the cycle just goes on and on. In fact, knowing that selling on a garment through the new trend of fashion flipping, that's buying second-hand clothes and then reselling them, has also emerged, particularly among young consumers. This fast resale after just a few wears makes it seem more financially viable to make new purchases, but actually this diminishes our precious resources even further. Number 3, the second-hand market through charity shops and consignment is not always ethical. 70% ends up being shipped to developing countries where this practice has caused poverty and the decimation of local textile industries. Number 4, exported textile donations even end up being burnt or buried in such countries. And number 5, 25% of our clothing donations actually go straight to landfill. So what can we do if we want to donate garments? Well, number 1, always check donation guidelines, charity donation guidelines. And number 2, be more selective. For example, by taking them directly to your local women's shelter or finding garment-specific charities to take them, such as underwear or prom dresses. So let's look at the growth figures for the next 10 years. Fast fashion is expected to grow 20%. Second-hand fashion is poised to grow 185%, and the circular and sustainable fashion business only by 9%. So, apart from reducing spend across all categories, which is vital, we have to divert as much of our spending into circular systems, as that is where the system change can actually be made. That is where real long-term resource impact can be made. However, purchasing some second-hand can be part of a great mix to create a better wardrobe for yourself, as long as when you do buy second-hand, you are looking to value and conserve those items. Often because they might be vintage or are items that you can upcycle or treasure for a long time. And in their very end of life, to recycle them into circular reuse. We should also commit to buy new, better made clothing, higher value purchases such as those made with recycled content and designed with durability in mind. These clothes should be made locally, with preferably recycled textiles, at least on the same continent and with living wage, not modern slavery. When you buy from brands committed to the circular economy principles, they are intentionally creating more durable products made well. you're not only investing in that garment, but also the new system thinking used to create that business. These are the business models that we as entrepreneurs and citizens should be investing in. And of course, we hope one day to have some market choices of second-hand clothing made from truly circular and regenerative brands. So for real change, we need to invest in by number 1, buying circular clothing, number 2, buying second-hand, and 3, value them and make them last.